Thank you for tuning in to Boss Babe Conversations. My name is Donetta, educator and owner of Her Body Bar. Here to encourage you to tap into your inner boss babe and become the best version of you. So grab your pen and your notepad and let's get into it. Today we have a beautiful, I love her so dearly. We have Candyce Davis in the house.
Hey, everybody.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. It was such a pleasure to have you here on our podcast today.
So happy to be here.
We are going to talk about how you are running a successful lash studio. I know there's a lot of lash artists out there that are probably trying to figure out, how do I get this together? How do I get my lash studio together? How do I get employees? Because you're killing it in the game. You've been killing it in the game.
Thank you.
So a little history of me and Candyce. I was in between lash artists. My lash artist got pregnant. You know who you are, girl. So I was out here thrown to the wolves. I didn't have no one. I was out here looking crazy. Didn't have nobody. Took it off. And I was working at Solo Salon Studios. My studio was there, and I went down the hall, and me and Jessica are friends.
Yes.
And I was always looking at her like, her lashes is always bomb. Let me do her lashes, girl. So I went, and I'm standing, you know me. I come standing in the middle, and I was like, you gatekeeping. And she's like, what? I was like, your lashes look bomb. You ain't told nobody.
Where you go? Come
on, tell me. And so she was like, girl, let me make a call because I'm about to change my date and you might be able to get my secure date. And I'm like, oh, please. And so she hit me back. She hit you up and she's like, yeah, you can have this date. You have a standing date. I was like, oh, I'm official. I got a standing date. And so I came into the studio. And it was
history from there.
Right. So
look at us now.
Tell us what inspired you to get into the lash industry? Actually, what were you doing before the lash industry? And then how did you break into the lash industry?
Oh, man. I became an esthetician in 2007.
Okay.
Took a lash course in 2008.
Okay.
So way before lashes were even a thing.
Right.
I think we were lashing out of some little pods.
What?
Yes. No lash trays then. But I actually, during that time, I was just doing spa stuff. So I worked at a day spa, waxing facials. And then, like I said, I took a lash course and kind of started there. I didn't do it full time at the beginning because lashes were not a thing.
Yeah.
Clientele was, it was new. So people did not, it just wasn't a floodgate.
Mm-hmm.
It took a lot of work. But then a couple years later, the floodgate opened. And
that was like, what year was that?
I don't know. I would say like, God, I don't even, 2010,
okay.
11. Okay. Then it started being more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was with the girl and at the day spa, and we're like, look, we could do this on our own. So we opened a little studio back then called Fabulash.
Okay.
I did that for a minute. And then my clientele grew so quickly. Mm-hmm. And at that point I said, you know what? I can do this for other people. Mm-hmm. The more the lash, it just grew. And of course in our business, the more money you want to make, you got to work more hours.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, how can we do this?
Right.
And then it was on from there.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What important skills or qualities does someone need to have a successful lash studio? I know that a lot of lash techs, they don't really know. They're still trying to learn, especially coming straight out of school. So what advice could you give them?
Man, I think at the beginning, it's really about building your clientele. So it is a grind every day. You have to hustle to get your clients. Consistency, that's huge. I don't know if there's anything else more than that. But on top of consistency and grind every day, promoting yourself, it's about the client. So client care is, I think, is above everything more than anything else. I know, what do you call it? Client
retention.
Yes,
Yeah.
but taking care of your clients.
Oh yeah.
That is to me more because they're the ones that are going to hold your business together, right? So I think that's most important before anything is making sure that they are taken care of.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. What challenges have you had with your business, and do you see like different challenges that a new lash tech or someone already in the industry may have, being in the lash world?
Um,
I know right now it's like the retention. I know.
It's
I think
just- it's
across like all beauty, I think they're
right. I
struggling
think
with the
it's just
retention.
keeping your clients happy and keeping them coming back. I mean, that would probably be number one. Staying on top of the different lash styles that are coming out. It does go back and forth, but staying on top of lash education. And I mean, really the only challenge would just be client retention. But that is where you just, I've always been huge about my clients and taking care of my clients. And that's how I feel like I grew so fast. I've been able to retain all of them that I have. Most of them have been with me for 7. I think a couple are going on 8 years now.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I'm truly grateful for that.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. I have an awesome clientele. So
Nice.
yeah.
So tell us a little bit. Now you have, how many girls do you have? You have like 9 girls?
I actually have 7.
7,
So
okay.
There's 8 of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So walk us through the journey of going from just you to having employees, because I know that a lot of lash techs, like that is probably their goal ultimately, to have a lash studio with multiple girls in there.
For sure.
So walk us through like what that looked like, that transition from being just you to going into having employees.
Oh man, that's a huge it was a huge it's a learning, that's a whole learning curve. I had a huge support system with my husband. We kind of took on the journey together, which was amazing. He has a huge background in business, so he took that part on along with and then I took the whole, the being the upfront and visual for Blink. But man, that was it's kind of like a learn as you go thing, because going from just taking care of yourself and your own products to getting a lash brand, hiring girls. I mean, you look to hire girls like you, or like myself.
It's gonna represent your brand.
Exactly, because I feel like I grew so quickly, and I'm like, I felt like I was good at doing that. I was good at retaining clients. I was good at the lash game. I grew really quickly, and so you look for that in the girls that you're hiring. Absolutely. Who's going to have that motivation? Who's going to have that grind like you do? So you do look for that. And, I have to give my girls a shout out. Oh man, it actually kind of makes me emotional because of where I'm at in life right now. I cannot be more grateful for the girls that I have right now. They're literally like family.
So you had to definitely trust them to like hold it down when you're having to be away from the studio and stuff like that.
Yes.
That's something, yeah.
Yeah, and that is definitely hard to find. And the biggest thing is, I have to say, creating Blink in the way that we did, a lot of people work as independent contractors, they booth rent. So I really, in our industry, there's not very many lash studios, I believe, besides the Lash Lounge, that create an avenue of stability. And that was the biggest thing. Learning how to build a clientele, but us doing it for you or helping, so that all you have to worry about is coming to work, retaining your clients, and, lashing and, building. But there was no avenue that there wasn't anybody else who was doing that. So I wanted to create an avenue for estheticians, and even cosmos, to be able to build a business.
Yeah.
And not only for today, but for their future, as far as, buying a car and buying a house. Those are things that are important.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So so let's still tap in a little bit to like the process of hiring additional employees. What does that look like, or how would you start that if you were going from like being single in a studio to like hiring your first employee? Would you hire multiple employees at one time, or would you try to see how like you manage one and then grow your team?
Like with me, I started with one.
Yeah.
And then slowly you put it out there on social media. Indeed has been huge.
Okay.
So those are things, and you just one at a time, like you interview, and you have to just make sure that they are a right fit for you.
Yeah.
It's taken a while. I mean, even now we interview, but the more you do it, the more you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, I go off of vibes, so I'm gonna be like, if
For
the vibe
sure.
is not there, I don't know, sis. I'm sorry.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't. It wasn't like that at first.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, I'm eager to hire. But again, I try to look for people who have that motivation that I do, right? To build your business.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's talk about marketing, because I know that we talk about that a lot, and when we have our little business meetings and stuff like that, we talk a lot about marketing. So how important is marketing when it comes to the Lash, and like how hard is it to maintain? Because your girl be struggling too. Your girl be struggling. It's hard.
You're good. Are so good.
I try to make it look good, but it's hard.
It is so hard. Oh man, that's been a huge. I would say that's been a huge struggle for me. And it's the consistency. I am definitely not somebody who likes to be on camera.
Right.
Behind the social media.
Right.
So I mean, social media works.
Yeah,
it does. Sure. Posting, people love to see interactive. People love to see you. People love to see the business. So it's all about consistency again. Yeah. I think that's just it's huge. I mean, social media is huge. Yeah. And then now you're taking on TikTok and the reels and the algorithm, and I'm like, what happened to just good old referrals?
You're right. What happened to still post? Now I got to be a whole content creator. Right. I got to be everything. So the struggle is, but do you use any other tactics besides just like social media?
A lot of sponsorships on social media.
Right. Okay.
Flyers. Word of mouth, pop-ups, events around town.
Absolutely.
Those are the different things that we've done so far.
Absolutely. I think for me, let me see, what have I done? Of course, I'm always on social media. I'm always doing, I did start with me. I started off, I came back from Atlanta, so I kind of knew the game here. It would probably not work as effectively like if I was to open up a business in Atlanta, but radio was really big for me. You definitely have to have a budget, baby, because it's kind of expensive. But it definitely worked for me. I definitely will say like that gave me my launch of my business. It just really just took off with the radio. And it's funny because a lot of us are like, we listen to streaming and stuff like that. Yeah. Nobody listens to the radio. A lot of people here in Fresno in the Central Valley still listen to the radio. So, and it's something like, even if you were looking to get into the radio, like, you don't have to have a crazy budget, to reach more people, but you can start low. Like, everybody thinks like you have to have this crazy, insane budget, but I do highly recommend, like Coca-Cola, for example, like they put millions of dollars into marketing, and you got to keep that in mind. They do that and they get their return. And you also have to realize, like, when it comes to certain stuff like that type of marketing, that type of marketing is not gonna give you a return right away, baby. Like, you have to pour into that and then expect you're not gonna see your return probably for 3 to 6 months. So you have to also like budget. That's why I'm really big on like having a marketing budget. And I know when I ask or have conversations with a lot of people, they will say like, oh, I don't have a marketing budget, or what is a marketing budget? So that's something I definitely would recommend, that you always will budget that when you're doing your plans for your quarterly plans, to always have a marketing budget. And it doesn't have to always be high. It doesn't have to be $3,000 and all this. Start with a budget and stay within there, and then it will grow as your business grows. So
For
that's
sure.
definitely something I will point out.
Yeah.
I think I use radio, and then I'm big on like brand ambassadorship. That's my big thing now. I like to bring people in that have a great influence. I don't know if y'all know about me. I used to have a marketing company. That's why she says my stuff is bomb. That's why.
It is.
I'm self-taught, but that's why. And I used to teach my clients that like brand ambassadorship is so big, and it's been big. It's grown over the years to something.
It's huge.
It's huge now. But just being able to tap into somebody else's audience is something good. So definitely doing the research and making sure that it's good for you and the person you're partnering with. So don't just grab like anybody you just think, like someone that has good content, and it's going to be, like I said, a beneficial partnership between you two.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's where I think, just like now, we're going to be holding a pop-up, something that I haven't done before, but just collabing with other people in the industry and, growing that relationship. I think that's so important, and collabing is. I mean,
absolutely.
have been lucky to find you and, build a relationship with you. You're just amazing at what you do. And so, but, building those relationships and collabing with other women is huge. And a lot of people, I think more of that needs to be done, especially in our industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. I love a good collab.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. I just love sisterhood, and I just want more of that.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we're going to continue to grow. I see a lot more, like just being back for 3 years. It's been way different. Like I moved away in like 2007. And like coming back, I knew what I seen in Atlanta, and it's like big on sisterhood and just like collaborating with other businesses. So I just came back kind of like a little bit of anxiety, because I knew how it was when I left, and I was like, women just don't collab like that, and I want that sisterhood. So I came back with kind of like on a mission, like I got to bring us together. I got to collab with other women that have like mind like me, and
just like you said, it's all about a vibe. And we like always vibe is good. Always positive. I don't do none of that hating and going about that way. But yeah, I think it's awesome to be able to find women and, grow with them and grow together. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's talk about, because we both, how many kids do you have?
6.
Ooh, child.
We are
Hats out to you, girl.
We are a beautiful Brady bunch.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So I felt like I just did like the Kevin Hart moment, like, oh shit. So tell me how like work-life balance, because
I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
It's way different for me. I only have one, so and I'm struggling with me. So I know your kids are like in sports and stuff, and of course you have your husband, so it's a little bit it's a little bit different to me. We single mom over here, but how do you do the work-life balance? Like you run a studio, baby. Y'all have multiple businesses over there, right? Yeah, that and then kids. So give us a little pointers of like a business owner that's trying to learn how to balance all, because it's a struggle for any business owner with kids.
For sure, 100%. Of course, I have my husband, so we do it together.
Absolutely.
But we have a huge support system.
Okay.
Anybody who knows us, we have a huge support system. So we definitely, that makes it a lot easier. But, leave, pick up, drop off. Okay, you guys are coming to the shop with me.
Right.
I have 2 more clients to do. But, you just do it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one I would say it's a blessing to have like your own space so that you can bring your kids. Because I'm like,
absolutely,
like having a bigger girl. We had the little space. I had the little 3 studios at Sola, and I was struggling with my daughter, just one there. But it's just a blessing now that I have this big studio now that I'm able to just go pick her up from school, bring her back, like you said, do your last little 2 clients, we out of here.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. No, it is. And like I said, family helps, campus club. So,
girl, yes.
So all
Shout out to the after school program.
Exactly. Absolutely. So, you make it happen. Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
Let's talk about the balance of lost my spot, girl. We talked about employees, but let's talk more on like what you said. You just do an interview process. You do the Indeed, but what does it look like? Do you have a checklist or something that you go through? Or
to be honest, my husband, he's the one that we do the interviews together.
Oh, nice.
But he's the one that's always took on those interviews, and
do you look for like a certain amount of like experience? I'm just trying to give a shout out to like anybody that might be looking.
No, absolutely. I'm always up to teaching. So a lot of the girls that I have brought on, I have taught from the beginning.
Okay.
Whether they've taken my Lash class and then I've brought them on board, even if they have 3 months or 6 months under their belt, I definitely willing to put in the work to invest in them and help them grow and fine tune, because it's always a work in progress. Lashes are always changing. Technique is always changing. So again, even if you're new, I definitely willing to bring you on board and to to get you trained, because I have done that with a lot of my girls.
Have you ever went into like the esthetician schools? Is
Yes.
that a good idea? Because I was thinking about that even for me. I know it's a fine line with the body sculpting, but just even like promoting like my marketing class, stuff like that. Have you ever went into the schools to like promote?
Yes, we actually have a contact. We have done a couple of things there with Milan. Haven't done anything with Paul Mitchell, but have done things with Milan, have a contact there. So that, they do, if they have someone who's interested in learning or wanting a look for a job, we do have that bridge. So that's always another avenue as well.
Nice. What type of continued education someone in the industry should be looking to do along their journey with their
classes? There's always classes all over.
Is there different types, or is there just like a regular
so they have
the lash class, and then the continuing part would be just like techniques?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
So that would be, so you learn how to lash, the basics of lashing, hybrid, classic, volume. Then you look into, there's a lot of these big companies who do, mastering the wispy look, mastering the wet look, so you can take those classes. Going to shows is huge.
Okay.
They have Long Beach. They have, I want to say they have one in the Bay Area. Okay. Vegas has a huge one, but they offer tons of classes. Not only for lashes, but waxing, for skincare. But that's just a whole other avenue of education.
Right.
So, you get out of school and sky's the limit. You have to just put in the work to further your education. I think specializing is great. That's what I feel like. Our lash studio, we offer a lot of services, but we've always specialized in eyelash extensions. There's not very many studios that here in town, or I would even say in the radius of the Central Valley, that offer the type of service and that we do.
Okay.
So, I feel like that is a solid for us, and that's what sets us apart from anybody else.
Absolutely.
Providing a, quality, high service for our clientele.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit. You had two locations at one time, and then we brought all the girls under one
Yes.
to maintain. So what advice would you have for someone that maybe already is running a lash studio and they're like, oh, I think I want to do a second location. What does that transition look like from moving from spreading your girls out or hiring other girls on another location and managing two locations? What does that look like?
It's not easy. It's definitely not easy, but definitely doable.
Okay.
Obviously it would be good to have maybe a managing partner or hiring a manager. But the girls, it's having
strong team.
Exactly. There is nothing like having a strong team. Finding those individuals that you can have at both locations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Y'all heard that. It can be done.
It can be, absolutely.
It can be done.
That's one thing I have to say, is that when you have to just leap and go. Like, you're not going to grow if you are afraid of failing. What's the worst you can do? Fail, get up and
figure it out.
Again. Exactly.
Yeah.
You figure it out.
Absolutely.
But you can't grow any other way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what are let's hop into like some favorite lash products that you use, like personal use.
Products?
Yeah, products.
My own.
Well, shout out. Let's hear it. What we got, girl? So
I would
okay, now
say-
that's it. Yeah.
I mean, I love our lash line, but what I stand behind with our lash studio is our retention. I feel like our retention is fire.
Yeah.
And our lash bonder and primer is it.
Okay.
So
Y'all heard that?
absolutely
You
love.
better pop in and get your products.
Have to. We do a bundle of the two products, but you have to use that duo.
Absolutely. So that's a must for a lash tech to have
Absolutely.
a line or of products for an upsell, right?
Correct.
Yeah, because I know that I've been to some lash techs that don't have any products, so get your products, y'all. Yeah, so I think I'm all here for an upsell. Anywhere you go, they have products. That you go to Old Navy, they have their own little stuff.
Right.
So you got to have your upsell for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's good. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I love that. So we talked about the kids. We talked about work-life balance. We talked about all that good stuff. I am so excited to have you here. I thank you for coming in today.
I'm so happy to be here and collab with you.
Yes.
And yes.
Yes. So if y'all
you.
think about any questions as a lash tech, feel free to DM me. I'll shoot you your way. Or you could DM your girl. So
Absolutely.
how can we find you?
I'm always here. I have my, you can DM the Blink page at the Blink Studios _. If you click on the contact, email is on there. I'll always respond right away. Also my cell number is on there as well. So shoot me a text, shoot me an email, give me a call. I'm pretty good about responding pretty quickly.
She be on it. She be on it.
Yeah. So if you have any questions or are interested in coming on board, then please reach out.
So we're hiring.
Yeah.
Activate.
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
Y'all heard that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in and stay tuned.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.